Hi everyone, my name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel Baby Tree. So today I'm going to be repotting some of the flowers that I grew from seed into a small kind of garden bed. I have this pot here and it's got a broccoli that is struggling really bad. It's been getting eaten by grubs. I also have this big celery and no one in my house really eats celery, so I've decided to pull it out, probably give it to someone that eats celery. And I'm going to plant in here instead some of the flowers that I have grown and a couple that I bought as well. So here I have a straw flower that I grew from seed. I have two of them actually. This one's already bloomed. I have these little snapdragons that I grew from seed as well. So I'd love to put them in there. This one's self-seeded because I am growing this petunia somewhere else in my garden and a seed has made its way over into this pot and it's self-seeded. So I'm going to be taking this out and I'll also put this in this little gardening pot. Over here I also grew from seed these little balloon flowers. This one already had a flower which is closed up now. And there's one over here that's about to bloom as well. So I'm going to put them in there and I think that will help them thrive better in like a bigger pot where they've got more space. And I also have this petunia that I picked up at one of my local garden centers. So I'm thinking I'll put that one in as well. Sometimes petunias can get really big. So I'll work out if we're going to have enough room in this pot for them, but we'll see how we go. So I'm going to start by basically pulling this out onto the grass so I've got more room to work with. Pull this out. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. Because I had so many things growing in here, you can see it's pretty much turned into lots of roots. So we don't want that. Our new plants will not grow very well in this. So we're going to get rid of that whole thing. And I'm happy that all stayed together and didn't make a big mess. I'm just going to empty this out. There's a little cockroach there. I'm going to give it a hose as well. It's just something you should do whenever you reuse pots. You should always give them a hose down because you don't know what kind of fungus or anything could be in there. And you don't want it transferring onto your new plants. I just realized with the wind I should tie my hair up. So this sits on top of the bottom and the water kind of sits underneath. So it holds water in the base of your plants and just helps them to stay watered longer. So put water in here. The only issue that I have worked out being in Queensland in Australia is we have a problem with toads. So sometimes toads like to get into the bottom and that's where they like to chill out, and I don't like toads around my plants. I just feel like they're not really good for the plants, so a little bit of a pest problem. Okay, so I'm just going to put some of this soil in here. This is one of the soil potting mix I use. I've tried a few different ones. I haven't really noticed any difference between different potting mixes, so I just get whatever's cheap really. I know some people might find that some are better than others. Personally, I haven't found a difference yet, so I'm just using this one for now. Okay, so I'm just going to open this up, put some fresh soil in our pot. Okay, this is how much I'm going to put in. I know that some of the plants coming in here are going to come with a lot more soil as well. So I'm not going to fill it to the top, but I do like it to be pretty high because I want my plants to be high up in the pot, because over time the soil does drop and we don't want our plants really low down in the pot. I haven't even worked out how I'm going to put these in yet, but I'm going to have a little play around. So I'm going to pull out these ones that I've grown from seed. These get quite tall. And I'm going to also get the balloon flowers. Most of these are quite tall. The petunias will be the lower ones, the shorter ones. So they will probably go in the front, and then I'll probably put the tall ones behind. I'm actually wondering if I should even put the straw flowers in now, just because they grow so huge and the roots do spread a lot. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So something I've learned is you can dig a little hole and kind of measure it out by putting the pot in like this, and you can kind of gauge the amount of room you need. So I think I'll put this in just like this here. Now what I'm going to do is just loosen this up, pull this out, make sure it looks pretty healthy. I'm only lightly pressing on here just to loosen up the roots a little bit. And now if you see in here, I've already got the spot emptied out, where I want to put it. So it just goes straight in there. I think I'll turn it around a little. Yeah, okay. So that one's the first one. I think I'll put the other one over here so there's a bit of space in between them, because they will spread a little bit and it will actually fill out really nicely. So I'm going to do the same over here. Okay, so this one here actually self-seeded into this pot. It wasn't intended. So I'm not going to use all of this because these are roots from a different plant. So I've got to try and break it away. So I can only get the roots of the petunia because I don't want this other plant getting in there. And the other plant, it's died off, but I just don't want to risk it. So trying to just get the petunia to come. Okay, I think I got it. So you can see the roots of that one there. So we're going to plant this one differently to the other one because this was a self-seeded plant. Okay, I'm just going to put it in quite deep. Make sure there's no other weeds in here. Okay, and that will fill out as well. Okay, I'm thinking I'll put these balloon flowers towards the front, in between the petunias. Maybe some of these spread out along the back, and then have this straw flower up in this corner. I'll give it a go. That's what I'm going to do, and we'll see how it all goes. So firstly, making another hole here. I just start the hole and then I use this pot to make the shape I want to use. Loosen it up a bit. Let me pull this out. This one grows really tall, so that's why it's looking a little bit root bound, because these like a big pot where they can spread their roots, or they actually prefer to go straight into the ground. So it will definitely like having a little bit more space than what it had. I'm going to put this one in here, and hopefully this petunia will grow out over this corner, and they do tend to come out and hang, so they're quite lovely for pots. This one here, we have these little sections. I'm just going to roughly dig a hole, fill in each little section like this. This one actually is quite a pretty color flower. I'm interested to see what it looks like when it's fully open. Put another one in here. Okay, I'm just digging tiny little rough holes, filling them in. I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a few plants in this, so I'm going to separate it a little bit. Oh, there's even a nice little worm. We like them. So I'm going to put this in here. This other one over here. Now, something I've learned as well is don't worry too much if they're really close together. People have often separated their plants, making sure they've got enough space to grow. When actually having plants really close together, they actually tend to support each other and they tend to thrive well. So don't be scared of putting them too close together. gonna put these in the front here. These ones I grew from seed. The roots look really healthy, so I'm happy with that. And now this last one. Ooh, I've actually found this one has a couple in here. So I'm gonna try and separate them. I've actually got 2 plants in here. So I'm gonna put one here. This other one, I might just put it in the middle. Now that I have my plants in roughly, I'm just gonna get some more soil. I'm going to actually use this little pot as a bit of a shovel. I'm just going to scoop up some more soil and I'm just going to fill it in well. Because like I said, sometimes the soil in pots does tend to drop as the plants use up what they need as it gets watered as well. So we want quite a lot of soil in here. I'm just patting it down lightly. Okay, now that we have these basically where we want them, I'm going to water it all in. I'm trying to find the setting I like. There it is. Okay, so we have this little flower garden bed now. Because I did just water these, they're looking a little bit washed out, but tomorrow they'll all be bouncing up happy. They just get a little bit sad looking when they get watered. And we'll have a check back in a couple of days, make sure everything's looking healthy and happy. But yeah, I think it's going to fill up really nicely. So there you have it, guys. That's our little garden bed. Hopefully everything survives well. I'll keep a bit of an update to show how they're doing after like a couple of weeks, and if it fills out a lot more, which I'm hoping it will, get nice and bushy with the petunias spreading. Hopefully it's going to look really pretty. And I really like at the moment the pink flowers with the orange and the white. I just think it's a nice color scheme. So yeah, that's it for today, and thank you for coming, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.